Okay. Thank you, Dov. So, very often we have different customs in Israel amongst different groups. And it's fascinating when we have the opportunity to see exactly where these two customs, where these two approaches come from. What is their point of divergence? And the different approaches that we have, and that's what results in the different practices. And an example of this is on Chanukah, where the Ashkenazic custom is that all members of the household will light a chanukiah. And therefore, in an Ashkenazic household with a number of children, you'll see many chanukiot in different, right, all lined up over there. In a Sephardic home, that is not the custom. The custom is that there is one chanukiah that is lit for that family. Now, this also manifests itself when boys go off to yeshiva. An Ashkenazic boy who goes off to yeshiva will light a chanukiah there in the wherever they will be allowed to light. Usually not in the dormitories, but in the dining area, wherever it is they allow that the yeshiva instructs the boys. That's the place to light the chanukiah. The Ashkenazic boys will be lighting because each one needs to light his own chanukiah. Whereas the Sephardic boys, I believe for the most part, will not be lighting because their father is at home lighting for them. And once they are married and have their own household, then they will light that one chanukiah. So that is an example of different minhag, given different customs that we have. And I always find it fascinating to see the source for these two different approaches, and to really, we'll see, it comes down to how we interpret a single word in the Gemara, in the Talmud. So let us enter into the walls, we call the kotalei, Beit HaMedrash, into the walls of the Beit Medrash, and let's look at this Gemara, and let's understand how this works and how this diverges.
Rabbi, are we learning in somebody's name or something?
We can.
I don't know who though.
Okay, so
Did you say kotalei?
kotalei,
Walls?
the walls, like a kotel.
No, I understand, but I heard there was a different word for wall.
Did you learn in someone's
Kier could also be a
someone's
wall.
sip?
No,
Is that
then
what you do?
homer?
Choma could also be a wall.
Homa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Homa.
What about for what's your Jewish name?
For Anita Bat Bella, I believe. Okay, so the Gemara here, it's in the tractate of Shabbos. I should have written that, I didn't write it in, my apologies. On the tractate of Shabbos, Masechet Shabbos, the Gemara goes through that the laws of Chanukah are found in the tractate of Shabbos, Masechet Shabbos.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because the second chapter of Shabbos is titled Bameh Madlikin Uvameh Ein Madlikin. With which oils and wicks can we light? With which oils and wicks do we not light? And the Gemara then discusses, well, how about on Shabbos of Chanukah? Are there any differences in the lighting that we would do, of course, before Shabbos, right, on Friday, for the lighting the chanukiah? Are there any differences over there? So that is the launch pad from which the Gemara goes into about two folios on Chanukah. So the Gemara says there, the second line from the top, Tanu Rabbanan, our sages taught, Mitzvat Chanukah, the mitzvah of Chanukah, and for those who want to follow in English, we have it also in the English underneath there. Mitzvat Chanukah, the mitzvah of Chanukah is Ner Ish U Beito. Ner ish ubeito. A ner, one candle, for an ish, for a man, ubeito, and for his household. That is the basic mitzvah of Chanukah. That every household should light one candle on the first night, one candle on the second night, one candle on each following night, for a grand total of 8 lights that are lit over the course of the 8 days of Chanukah. That is the mitzvah, the base mitzvah. Ner, one candle, ish ubeito, for a man and his household. V'hamahadrin, and those who are mahadrin, those who want to beautify. How do they translate over here? The zealous. Okay, I would say it more the beautifiers. Those who want to do the mitzvah in a more beautified fashion. They say, ner l'kol echad ve'echad. They say a ner for each and every member of that household. You have 4 people in the house, 4 candles are lit the first night. And on the second night, 4 candles are lit. And on the third night, and so on, ner l'kol echad ve'echad. One ner for each and every person. And if there are 4 people in the house, so 4 times 8, 32 will be lit throughout Chanukah. Sorry?
It's a lot of fire.
Just wait. V'hamahadrin min hamahadrin. And the beautifiers of the beautifiers. Beit Shammai Omrim. There we have 2 opinions on how do we be the beautifiers of the beautifiers. Beit Shammai Omrim, Yom Rishon Madlik Shmona. The first day we light 8. Mikan ve'elach. From there on, Pochet v'holech. 8 the first, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. By the time we're up to the 8th day, we're lighting 1. Ubeit Hillel Omrim, Beit Hillel says, Yom Rishon Madlik Achat. First day, 1 candle. Mikan ve'elach mosif v'holech. And we keep on going, we keep on adding. The second day, 2 candles. Third day, 3 candles. Fourth day, 4 candles.
Does Shammai ever win out?
When Mashiach comes, that's when we rule like Beit Shammai. Until then, the Gemara says that we go with Beis Hillel. And the Gemara said, why do we go with Beis Hillel over Beit Shammai? Because they were anvitanim, because they were had such humility that they would always not just hear the other person's argument, but they would present the other person's argument first, right? Which is a real lesson in how to argue, or how to disagree, I should say, right? It's okay to disagree, but let's make sure you hear what the other person is saying. That was exemplified to a great degree by Beis Hillel. So the Mahadrin, Mina Mahadrin, say 1 the first night, 2 the second night, 3 the third night, 4 the fourth night. By how many people? That's not clear in the Gemara. How many people are meant to be lighting 1 the first night, 2 the second night? Meaning if there are 5 people in the household,
Yeah, 5 chanukiot.
do you have 5 chanukiot with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Or do you have 1? So let's turn the page over that I gave you, and let's take a look at the Rambam, Laws of Chanukah, chapter 4, laws 1 through 3. And again, we have it both in Hebrew and in English. Kama neirot hu madlik b'Chanukah, the Rambam says. How many candles or how many lamps should be lit on Chanukah? Mitzvata. The mitzvah is sheyeh kol bayit ubayit madlik ner echad. The mitzvah, the basic mitzvah, the no frills, non-beautified mitzvah is every house lights one candle each night. Bein shehayu anshe habayim murubin, whether there are many people in the house. Bein shelo hayu ba ela adam echad, where there's only one person there. V'hamahader et ha-mitzvah, and the one who wants to beautify the mitzvah, madlik neirot, will light candles or lamps, kaminyan anshe habayit, according to the members of that household. Ner l'kol echad ve'echad, one ner for each and every person, bein anashim, bein nashim, whether for the men or for the women, one candle for each and every member of that household. V'hamahader yoter al zeh, and that word is very important. Hamahader, the one who want to beautify, yoter al zeh, yoter more. What does al mean? On. Those who want to beautify more on or upon that. V'osa mitzvah min amuvchar, do the mitzvah in the chosen fashion. Madlik ner echad l'chol echad, the light one candle for each person. B'layla harishon, on the first night. Umosif v'holech, and then they'll continue adding on. B'chol layla v'layla, on the second night, everyone will light two. Or will light two for every member of the household. On the next night, we're going to light three for every member of the household. Ketzad, next halacha, Beth, number 2. How does this work out? If there are 10 people in the house, the first night, we're lighting 10 candles. Uvaleil sheni, on the second night, esrim, 20. V'leil shlishi, the third night, shloshim, 30. Ad shenimsa madlik b'leil shmini, by the 8th night we're lighting shmonim neirot.
But don't you need a lot of chanukiot?
You'll need a lot of chanukiot.
Isn't there a fire hazard too?
Well, they're all kind of small flames.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Luckily they have so many
it's-
varieties.
It's pretty manageable.
Big table.
It's pretty manageable.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let me ask you, turning back to the Gemara for a moment. When we said the Mahadrim and Mahadrin, those who beautify the beautifiers, Beit Shammai said 8 down to 1. Beis Hillel said 1 up to 8. Did that sound to you that every one of them is right? Is everyone is lighting like that? Or does that sound to you that it's saying that's the grand total of what is done? Beit Shammai says 8 down to 1. Beis Hillel says 1 up to 8. How did it sound to you? Let's see it again. V'hamahadrin, the third line. Ner l'kol echad ve'echad. A ner for each and every person. V'hamahadrin min hamahadrin. Right, the way the Rambam, and those who are beautifiers of the beautifiers, Beit Shammai says Yom Rishon, first day, Madlik Shmona, 8, Mikan ve'elach, from there on we diminish down to 1. Beit Hillel says Yom Rishon, first day we Madlik Achat, we light 1. From there on, Mosif Olech, we continue adding on until we get to 8. Does that sound to you like he's saying that's what everyone does? Or that's the sum total of what's done? How does it sound to you?
It's indefinite.
Indefinite. Fair enough.
Because each one could be referring to a single one. You would expect Hillel to go, you know what? Yeah, Mahadran, but I want to have Rahmanis on people. I don't want them to have 80 candles in their house.
To me, the wording, right? The fact that we say, I'm not sure, the fact that we say madlik in the singular, as opposed to madlikim, right? We light, right? It to me, for the first time now I heard it, that it might be, to me, it might be leaning a little bit towards not the way the Rambam learned it. Now remember, the Rambam said V'amahader yoter al zeh. The one who wants to be beautified, yoter more al, upon the beautifiers. So therefore he has everyone lighting. Let's go back to the Gemara now and let's take a look at the Tosfot. Tosfot is on the right-hand side. You have bold letters 3 lines down and then about 12, 13 lines down. I'm sorry, 3 lines down, right there. V'hamahadrin min hamahadrin. Those who are beautifiers of the beautifiers. Nireh l'ri. It appears to the Ri. The Ri was the name of one of the Baalei Tosfot, one of the authors of the Tosafot. The Beit Shammai uBeit Hillel. Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. Beit Shammai says 8, not the same number each night, but 8 down to 1. And Beit Hillel said 1 up to 8. Kayami, they are addressing Ela Aner Ish Ubeito. They are addressing the base level, where we said 1 candle per household. And what are they saying? Either 1 up to 8 or 8 down to 1 per household. That's what the Ri, not like the Rambam that we just saw. That's how it appears to read. That Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel, when they say 1 to 8 or 8 to 1, they are addressing the base halacha of 1 per household, and they're saying instead of 1 per household, do 1 per household on the first night, 2 for the household second, 3, and Beit Shammai 8 down to 1 per household.
Even mathematically, adding is the opposite of subtracting. But adding is different than subtracting in the fact that it's becoming increasing and more. There's something spiritual about adding. And there's something non-serious you're taking away and lessening. And for Hanukkah, or for a Jewish holiday, or for anything Jewish, you want to expand. You don't want to contract.
So you're a Beis Hillel kind of gal. I see that. Right? So the Gemara explains that Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, right? Beis Hillel is talking about how many days, on the first day there was 8 days of miracle packed into that one light. By the second day it had 7 days of miracle packed into it. By the third day, that's why they go down. Where Beis Hillel goes, right, as the miracle is increasing. So how much miracle was left, or what stage of miracle have we approached? But without getting into the up or down, the Ri learns that Beit Shammai and Beis Hillel are going on the base level of 1 per household, and they say per household, bring it 1 up to 8 or 8 down to 1. Don't keep it as 1. Why do they want to learn like that? Shekain yesh yoter hidur. By doing it in such a way, that is yoter hidur. That is greater hidur. Greater beautification. Why? Di'ika hekera. Because it's very recognizable. Kishemosif holech, when you're adding on each day, like Beis Hillel, o mechaser, or if you're diminishing each day, like Beit Shammai, shu keneged yom hanichasim, either adding on according to the days that are coming or the days that are leaving. So therefore, it's very clear. We all follow Beis Hillel. Therefore, it's very clear. You go to a house and you see 6 candles. You know, what is it?
The 6th
The 6th night of Hanukkah. As opposed to, aval im osa ner l'kol echad, if you're doing a ner for each person, afilu yosef mikan ve'elach, even if you're adding on, leka hekera, it's not recognizable. She yizbru shekach yesh b'nei adam b'bayit. You see 6 candles. Is it the first night and there are 6 people here? Is it the second night and there are 3? Is it the third night there's 2? Is it the sixth night and there's one person lighting? It's not recognizable. Shekach yesh b'nei adam b'bayit. But how can they argue with the Gemara? Wasn't the Gemara a pyramid? Wasn't the Gemara a base level, and then an improvement, and then a mahader, a beautifier, and then a mahadrin min a mahadrin? Like the Rambam said, those who do a mahader yoter al zeh, those who add on another hidur, another beautification on top of that. So it all comes down to how we view the structure of this Gemara, and how do we define the word min. V'hamahadrin min hamahadrin. We said those who beautify. I was very, very parava. I kept it non-committal. I said the beautifiers of the beautifiers. But how would the Rambam learn it? Hamahader yoter al zeh. The Rambam understands the Gemara. There's the base level, one candle per household per night. Then you have the mahadrin, those who beautify, and they say everyone should light one candle. Mahadrin, mina mahadrin, is those who are beautifiers more than the beautifiers. Right? The beautifiers, the Rambam said, yoter. The beautifiers on the beautifiers. So they're taking that second level of everyone lighting, and let's take everyone lighting and let's mahader yoter al zeh. Let's add on to that. Everyone lights, but not just one candle every night. One on the first, two on the second, three on the third. Look back at the Tosfot. What did Tosfot say? Shekain yesh yoter hidur. Tosfot said there's a greater or a better beautification. According to the beautifiers, who said, so we have our base level, one per household. Along came the second one and said, everyone, member of the house. The Rambam learns this third opinion came along and said, everyone going 1 to 8. They're mahadrin al, yoter al. They're adding on, they're mahadrin even more on that hidur. So they say, not just one for everyone, one for everyone, going from 1 to 8. That's the Rambam. But what did the Tosfot said? Tosfot said there's a hidur yoter, meaning here's the base. Along comes the beautifiers, and they say, this is the way to beautify. Instead of one per household, what should you do? You should do one per member of the household. Along came the mahadrin min ha-mahadrin. Not the mahadrin on the mahadrin, but mahadrin than the mahadrin. They say, I've got a better hidur. I don't like your beautification. Your beautification leaves a lot of ambiguity in terms of what night is it. So therefore, they say not like this, on top of what you're saying, you go this direction. No, we're going to go in this direction. You're taking the base and saying everyone does one. No, we're going to take the base and say one person goes 1 up to 8. So is the mahadrin mina mahadrin? Is that someone who's mahadrin on top of the mahadrin, adding on to what they said? Or is that more, better than, not more than, better than, preferred? I don't like your hidur. Right, again, the Rambam used the term yoter al zeh, more on that. What you said, plus, we're going to add on more. The Tosfos said, no. What is mahadrin min ha-mahadrin? What is yoter hidur? What is a better than What is the beautification that is better than your beautification? And therefore, we come out with, instead of one, every member of the household. No, every member of the household does not light. Rather, what do? One chanukiah per household. But instead of it being one the first night, one the second night, one the third night, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this different minhagim all come down to one word in the Gemara. V'amahadrin min hamahadrin. Does that min mean more than, including, right, plus? Or is that yoter, right, mahadrin than? Is it with them adding on? Or is it more mahader than they? So I had a question for you. Yes?
I just was like, okay, when they say lefarsemetanes, is that the same thing as hidur or nahad?
No. Lefarsem means to publicize. Pirsuma nisa. Lefarsem, it means to publicize the
So that's
nes.
to put it in a window.
Right. And well, we light the chanukiah in a visible place in order lefarsem with the nes, and we're arguing what is the best way.
Right, no, that I understand.
What's the most beautified way of doing it?
Right.
So, in fact, if we turn over again, the Rambam in Halacha Gimel continued and said, Minad Pashut b'chol areinu b'sfard. It is the custom in all of our cities in Spain, sheyu kol anshe habayit madlikin ner echad b'layla harishon, that the entire household lights one ner on the first night, umosif mehochen ner b'chol layla, and then they continue going in ner each night, ad shenimtzag madlik b'leil shmini shmona nerot. By the 8th night, they've lit 8 candles. Bein shayu anshe bayim merubim, bein shaya adam echad. So the Rambam says, even though his understanding of the Gemara is the way he said and the way that Bnei Ashkenaz do it, in fact, he says the minhag in his Spain, Sephardic, is that there is just one chanukiah for the entire household. In Shulchan Aruch, so the Mechaber says one chanukiah per household. Along comes the Rav Moshe Isserles, who was writing his own Shulchan Aruch around the same time Rav Yosef Karo was writing his. Rav Yosef Karo's came out first, and he didn't want to have 2 separate books of Jewish law for the Ashkenazim and for the Sephardim, which would divide the nation. So then what he did was he kept Rav Yosef Karo's, what we call the Shulchan Aruch, and he added his gloss, his notes, where there is a difference amongst Bnei Ashkenaz. And there he writes, our custom is, the custom that is spread out amongst the Ashkenazi communities, is that everyone lights, right? But adding on each night.
Is that
right?
men, women, and children?
Children, women
Of a certain age?
Yes, a woman, yes, but if a woman's married, then ishto kugufo.
Okay.
Right? Then she's like her husband.
Uh,
So the Rambam, so the way Tosfos learns is the way the Rambam says was done in Sfard, and the way the Rambam himself understood initially, or understood the Gemara, right? Even though he said our custom is different, the way he understood the Gemara is the way that Bnei Ashkenaz do it.
the miracle is emphasized more by adding on each night rather than diminishing, because it's a spiritual adding on, and it's contrary to the laws of physical nature.
Okay.
In other words, Normally
I
a
hear-
candle burns down, so it'd be 8 down to 1. But if there's a spiritual element to it, then it can go from 1 to 8.
Yeah. Another base Hillel
Yeah.
fan. Yeah. Now I think it's not so fair because I think we are so ingrained with what we do that our natural tendency is right. If we always, of course, we go 8 down to 1, then I think we'd all be giving reasons why, of course, that makes the most sense, right? It's so ingrained in us.
If Michel Hassan were here, what would he say?
Well, everyone agrees 1 to 8. Everyone agrees 1 to 8. The question is there one chanukiah per household 1 to 8, or are there amount of chanukiot according to the number of people 1 to 8? Yeah.
Okay, so when they're talking about beautifying, they're talking about the act of lighting or having more fire because it's just beautiful?
The way that we're lighting that most beautifies the mitzvah, right? You know, 1 is the basic. The beautifiers said 1 per member of the household, and either the beautifiers upon the beautifiers or the more beautiful than thou beautifiers said, instead of doing it your way, let's do it this way. Now, what's very interesting is that the Ramah, who says that our custom is that everyone lights their own, so you have multiple chanukiot going, but he is concerned about the point that Tosfot made. Right? Tosfot said, you go into a house and you count up 36 lights. Let's do the math. Well, let's go with 32, right? Are there 32 people there on the first night? Are there 16 on the second night? Can't be the third night, sorry. Right? Are there 8 on the fourth night? Right? Etc. If you have 30, right? You know, you don't know what it is. Right? So therefore, the Ramah says, our custom is that everyone lights. However, it shouldn't be a big mess of lights. Each one should be arranged in its own place. Right? Now, if you're using a chanukiah, like most of us do, so that automatically arranges it. You don't have to use a chanukiah. And when it comes to tomorrow night, when we're lighting before Shabbos begins, so if you're using the usual Hanukkah candles, those nice, colorful Hanukkah candles, you've got a bit of a problem. Because it needs to burn for a half hour from the time that Shabbos ends. It needs to burn from about 5:30 to 6. Now, tomorrow you have to first light it at 4:20, about 4:15, 4:20. So it's going to be out by 4:45, 10 to 5, 5 to 5, right? So on those nights, you need to have a longer burning. If you're using oil, the oil burns for a few hours, not a problem.
Do they sell like special or just a regular candle?
So there, they do sell ones that are a little bit longer, or what one can do is take a regular candle, if that will fit into the chanukiah, depends how it will fit, or if it won't fit, depending how close those 8 are. Yeah, or what one can do is simply light tea lights. Line them up. Right? Tonight we're lighting 3, tomorrow we're lighting 4. You would take 4 tea lights, line them up, and then take another candle off to the side as the shamish. And that will be, it doesn't need to be a chanukiah. It's nice, it beautifies, but we have to do it properly. So the Ramah says, if we are in a situation where you are having multiple chanukiot being lit, then one needs to be careful to make sure that they are arranged in a way that you know who is where, that each one is lined up, so you could see, oh, there are 5 chanukiot, and there are 4 in each of them. It's the 4th night of Hanukkah. Yeah.
So if you decided I can't find the extra long candles, by the way, OC Kosher has them. I'm going to use tea lights. do you have to use tea lights all 8 nights, or
No.
just for Shabbos?
Okay,
No,
no.
shamish, don't you, no,
He did
shamish.
say shamash at tea light.
Yeah,
The
but
shamash-
it can be
the
just,
shamash
I
doesn't
thought
have to be a
shamash
tea light.
has to be, I thought that has to be raised, the shamash.
The shamash needs to be out of the order.
Okay, so
Raised.
any place else.
Yeah,
Okay.
just out of the lineup.
Okay.
Yes, so even though, right, ideally we use oil, but candles is also fine, but we shouldn't mix and match within one chanukiah. Meaning, all right, on the 6th night, I shouldn't have 3 oil and 3 candles. It should be, whatever it is, it should be consistent, right? But if I'm lighting oil on the other, if I'm lighting candles and then I light oil, are different. Each night is its own stand alone,
Okay.
right? So that would not be an issue.
But
Okay.
but you're saying though that to guarantee or to be sure that we do it correctly, oil is best.
The
Unless
Shulchan
they're
Aruch
big
says,
candles.
well, for Shabbos, there are 2 separate issues.
I
In general, oil is best because the miracle happened with
and
oil,
okay.
right? So that's why in general oil is best. One can certainly fulfill their mitzvahs with candles. Now, whether you're using candles or oil, when it comes to Friday night, where we're lighting about an hour and 10 minutes earlier than we normally do, so instead of burning for a half hour, it needs to burn for an hour and 40 minutes, let's say. So there you want to make sure that whatever you are using, it is enough that it will burn for the requisite
Tea
period
lights
of
burn
time.
long enough? Tea
The
lights?
tea lights burn
Okay.
usually at least 2 to 3
Just
hours.
curious. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Go to the
Really? What do
scorcher.
you get? Mine goes out quickly.
I know mine goes out, they have a fan. Okay,
Oh.
just shut off the fan.
I think the tea lights go for at least
I think
2
they do,
hours.
yeah, with no fan, okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe I have my cheap tea lights. Maybe that's why.
Okay, so that is, right? So when people are saying, we have these different situations, different minhagim, and we're wondering where it comes from, here is a beautiful example that we get down to the core that it all depends how we define one word in the Gemara,
Mean.
right? Min,
Mean.
right? And it's like the Rambam says, yoter alze, right? I'm going to one-up you, right? Am I mahadering on top of your hidur? Or do I have a hidur that's better than yours? I have an alternative way to beautify, which I say is a beautification that's mahadrin min, than, T-H-A-N, than your hidur. So is it on top, or is it in place of?
Does this happen in other places? You don't have to go into it. Does this happen in other places in Gemaras where you could do it this way, but mine is better and all that? Or is this a unique thing?
It's not a unique thing. Well, throughout the Gemara, we have different Rishonim, different early commentators who often have different approaches and explanations of the Gemara. As we see, the Rambam understands the Gemara one way, and the Tosfot understands it a different way. That we often have. Does it always? It's not as common that the different approaches represent themselves so clearly when it comes to different minhagim.
Okay.
Normally there are different approaches, and then we rule halachically this way or that way. It's over here where they're not arguing about the halacha.
No.
The halacha is 1 candle per household, period. So with that, one fulfills their mitzvah. So they're arguing in their interpretation of how do you beautify more. How do we add on more beautification, or what's a better way of beautification? That's what they're arguing about the hidur, about the beautification. There's room for minhag, for custom, because we're already fulfilling our mitzvah for sure. The question is, what is the best way to beautify? So, is it a beautification upon a beautification, yoter al, or is it yoter may, more than? Is it al or is it may, upon or than? So this is a kind of a unique situation where we see so clearly the different ways that the Rishonim explain the Gemara manifest themselves in the different customs. But I will just conclude and say, we say that minhag Yisroel, the minhagim are kadosh, are holy. right?
No
And
matter how you do it.
everyone should follow their minhag, their custom,
It does.
and that is their way that they are connecting to their
Yes.
all the way back to through their ancestry all the way back to Sinai. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Michaela.
We can beautify the place to make it more proper. Not proper.
Look,
That's it.
It's okay or not?
here we're talking about how does one beautify the mitzvah. Now, having a nice chanukiah is also a way of beautifying the mitzvah, right? You know, everything that we do, we try to do it in a nice, beautified way. So,
Yeah, but to decorate like the windows, like the Magen David, Happy Hanukkah.
That's kind of probably because the
That's
guys do
extra.
their,
Yeah.
yeah, their things.
yeah, so,
That's
you know,
how that originated.
exactly, yeah. So, look, you know, if one is doing it purely for Hanukkah, that's fine. If one sees the neighbors have this and that and this and that, so also I want, so that we don't feel a need to do.
Now, if you want to make a menorah out of lights and you know, add one light on Hanukkah, right? So that would be publicly beautifying the mitzvah at some kind of a grand display at your house.
So you're talking about electric lights?
Yeah,
It's an
take-
electric
use the.
They do have that now, yeah.
I'm saying go out, right? Get the Goyish lights, right? But
Right.
string it up in the pattern of a menorah and you know, light one.
That
On-
seems
on
very
Hanukkah.
good.
One cannot fulfill the mitzvah in that way.
Not fulfill the mitzvah, but it's in the spirit of publicly.
No,
Okay.
we have no need to copy what other people
Yeah.
are doing.
Yeah. The way that we publicize it is the way with our chanukiah. We don't need to.
Go big.
Yeah. Yes, Steve.
This is kind of my hiddur mitzvah, which is not exactly the way you were defining it, but I have a little chanukiah with oil, the little oil cups, and a little top with a hole in it to put a wick. I take cotton and I twist it and make my own little wick, and and this is my putting myself into this
Beautiful.
mitzvah.
That's nice.
So it's not grandiose, it's not,
Yeah.
but it's me
Putting yourself into it.
putting
Beautiful.
myself into it.
Beautiful. Dove.
Mahadran sparklers.
What?
That's Dove's opinion, which doesn't necessarily find itself in the.
Rabbi?
Okay. Yes.
One of our chanukiot is little cups that have oil with a wick in it, and when we light it before Shabbat, and then light the Shabbat candles, it's still burning.
It burns for a long time. Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the oil usually burns for a long time. The oil, you're pretty.
It's the only one
you're
that
pretty-
keeps burning.
Yeah, you're pretty safe with the oil. That keeps on going.
That's why the miracle happened.
That's it. Okay, my friends, we'll call it over here. Yasher koach, everybody. A good day and a Chanukah Sameach.
Thank you.
What time is the hinges tonight? 6:30, you said, is the...